Hello, and welcome to the top 5 mods of Fallout 4 for February 2023. As before, this will be a mix of the highest rated mods and some personal favourites. They're also in no particular order, so yeah, let's get to it. This month was pretty great for weapon mods, so it was difficult deciding what to include in this list. And the BOCW Nail Gun made the cut with just how unique of a design it is, while still fitting naturally into Fallout's aesthetic. Now I gotta get this out of the way. It took me a long while to realise the model and texture was taken from Black Ops Cold War. You know, it's called BOCW, and I didn't even realise. But, you know what? It fits really well, and it just means it has a high level of quality. Anyway, the nail gun is craftable at the chem bench, and spawns on vendors and legendary enemies after level 15. Plus there are unique variants hidden around the Commonwealth, and it's where this mod really shines. Each variant has a design that really stands out, especially this nail one, which looks like a type of weapon a Fallout raider would use. The mod also comes with custom animations, new sounds, and multiple attachments. Plus it uses nail ammo, which is pretty underutilised. And finally, the general stats are impressive, although it's unlikely you'll be using it late game. But honestly I think that's for the best, as unique weapons like this one are far more focused on adding flavour to the world, rather than being as efficient as possible. Now that Fallout 4 is over 7 years old, there's a lot of people who can finally run this unoptimised messy engine. But no matter what PC setup you have, it's still unoptimised. So I'm always having to download multiple performance mods to keep the FPS in check. And the latest in Fallout 4 optimisation comes from the Fallout 4 Upscaler, which implements the latest upscaling features used in most modern games. The big one is DLSS, which you've probably used before if you have an RTX graphics card. It basically renders the game at a low resolution, then upscales it to look like your native resolution. And yeah, this mod brings the feature to Fallout 4. It also brings DLAA, and for those who don't own an RTX card, there's also FSR2 and XESS. You'll either know what that means, or it'll just be gibberish. But the main thing to know is that it helps performance and improves the overall look of the game. For this, I'll mainly be focusing on the added DLSS, because it's what works best with my setup. When DLSS is enabled, there's a definite FPS boost. I found in some areas it's hugely noticeable, and some it makes no difference. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me, as I've already spent so long optimising this game as much as I can. But I imagine for most people, you'll see a huge improvement in the vast majority of places. I've seen some comments saying they barely notice a difference, and some saying they doubled their FPS, even in Boston City. So yeah, it really just changes based on your setup. However, even if you don't get an FPS boost, this is worth downloading just for the improved graphics. It's honestly pretty ironic, because usually, DLSS makes the image a little softer and not as sharp, but Fallout 4's anti-aliasing is just so bad that it actually improves the game's blurriness. The biggest difference is with vegetation. Here you can see DLSS being switched on and off, and distant trees are no longer faded away with the game's awful TAA, so it really is a great mod. The only downside is that DLSS isn't compatible with EMBs, although you can still use a reshade, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're one day made compatible. So the nail gun covered the scrap weapon side of Fallout, and the Tinkerer's Tesla covers the sci-fi side. This electrifying weapon uses makeshift parts to sling lightning at enemies, and once again, it fits seamlessly into Fallout's vibe. It bears resemblance to the Tesla rifle added with the Automatron DLC, except more compact and practical to carry around, so it's fitting that it's mostly found on Rust Devils after level 8. With the way it shoots arcs of electricity, its range is pretty limited, so it can appear impractical. But oh no, up close this thing completely shreds enemies. Maybe a little too much, but boy is it fun to use. It comes with all the bells and whistles you expect with a great weapon mod. Interesting design, customization options, level list integration, and unique variants hidden around the world. So yeah, perfect for adding some variety into the wasteland. The Bleachers was a huge 2019 quest mod which expanded Diamond City, and the Bleachers 2 is a continuation of the original. As the mod page says, there's over 1700 voice lines, 50 quests, a new ending to the vanilla story, a new companion, new items, and more. Upon entering Diamond City, you'll immediately notice a difference. There's new residents, districts, restaurants, and just a whole lot bringing the area to life. I don't want to spoil any of the quests, but the ones I've played have felt high quality, with good writing and voice acting and dialogue choices, everything you'd want.
Yeah, I used to run with the cult, if that's what you're asking. I don't apologize for staying alive.
As for the sheriff department itself, it replaces the Diamond City Guards as its new protectors, where they're far more militarized and can be a little rough around the edges. Their unique designs immediately stand out, and you'll get to learn a lot more about them as you progress through the story. Honestly, it's hard to emphasize just how much this mod adds, without spending an entire video on it. The best way to view it is like a new DLC, one that's not as big as, say, like Far Harbor, but also not as small as Automatron, a good middle ground. Last month, I even showed off a new radio it adds. Like, it's just a radio, and an incredibly small part of this mod, yet it shows the level of quality you should expect. You can get a healthy dose of New Vegas vibes with this new lever-action shotgun. I've always found the shotgun side of Fallout 4 to be lacking, and so this mod helps fill it out with this lore-friendly addition. It not only looks the part, but it also has custom animations which really stand out. It even has the iconic Terminator 2 shotgun twirl that Arnie does. Although, if you want to be picky, this isn't actually a thing you can do with the real Winchester rifle, and I'm pretty sure Arnold almost broke his fingers when he tried it with a real one on set. But yeah, no, it just looks cool, and you don't have to use the twirl if you don't want to. Anyway, there's also plenty of attachments, including ones that make it far more viable at long range. It also spawns on enemies and vendors at level 10, with a unique variant found south of the map. But yeah, it's just a well-made shotgun that fits seamlessly into any list. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like as it helps the channel grow. And do let me know what your favourite mod of the month was. I also have a Twitch where I stream whenever I can, and a Discord where we talk about mod stuff or anything else. Other than that, big thank you to my Patreon supporters, Tyler Pullin, Janice, Jake Carlo, Dweezil P. Pants, Rook, Alec Bentme, Jack Ma, and Christian Howell. Your contributions are so appreciated because, you know, the cost of living just keeps climbing, and so contributions like this mean I can actually keep the channel running and not, you know, have to scrap it and work with something else so that I can actually have food and such. So thank you so much. And I also have a Ko-fi account, Ko-fi, Coffee, I don't know, where you can give a little one-time donation if you so wish. And thank you everyone, and farewell.